That confidence behind them and thinking that.
And welcome back to Riftwild's Asian edition, where we have a one-corner WE versus the gigantic powerhouse SKT Telecom T1. After this tournament, maybe call themselves SKT Telecom S+1. Or why not? I'll work on that. That needs a bit of improvement, I'll admit that. I'm your caster today, Mr.Gold, and I'm proud to present to you my co-caster, the man of the hour, RavExel.
Yeah, you see, I'm coming at you. We got China versus Korea action in an aircraft hangar coming for you faster than Faker can move his hands in the skills rift rivals, y'all. We're gonna see who wins. All right, that's the best I got.
That is nowhere close to S+ tier. But we're going in. Yes, Mr. Gold is going to show in. We got a band phase going on. No more Zach at the bat. What's going on? Okay, we stopped immediately.
All right. That's a first. That's a first and done, I guess, for this cast. We tried.
We
got it out of the way. 2 attempted wraps, and then that's it. All right. But we do have some junglers out of the way. We have the ever more popular Caitlyn being taken out. And let's see what SKT, they could go for a Lee Sin ban here. They could go for, Kled, so a tournament favorite so far. And immediately that's going to bring up the Galio, which for WE, not quite sure if that's going to be top lane or mid lane. So really that could be flexed, and we're going to see what SKT takes to counteract that. Could be either a support, could be the jungler. Probably not going to want to pick their top and mid lane right away. So Ashe getting picked up, utility 80 carry, and they didn't want to ban the Lee Sin. They wanted to go ahead and pick that up for Peanut.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a Galio flex. That's the power of having him first pick. They leave him up, basically forcing SKT Telecom to ban him. But since they don't ban him, they got him to flex. So it's going to be able to go either the mid lane or the top lane. I think maybe we'll see a top lane Galio. I like seeing this mid laner who I have no prior experience with on carry champions, and I'm just going to roll with that. The Kog'Maw looks like they'll be coming in. Kog'Maw's been seeing a lot of picks recently for his insane late game DPS, which is making the ability for teams to pick so important in team execution. So it's going to be interesting to see how this rolls down.
And I mean, picking the Kog'Maw into Ashe is basically Kog'Maw saying, Ashe, you're not going to get the arrow on me out of position, and I'm going to be able to outscale you and do more damage over the game. And this is a flex pick. Really, Faker is a very well-renowned Karma mid player, but that's not to say that Wolf can't go ahead and play that in support. So it'll be very interesting. So both teams have a flex pick, and that's how this high-level draft has gone on. Both not 100% sure where each other's going, and this is what you have to do at high-level play.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But look at the determination of Faker. He's calling this thing. I'm not even sure why they have a guy behind him. He's trying to look, he's blinking. He's nervous. He knows he doesn't have an opinion matter. Oh, it's a WE team. That's why he's nervous. I'd be very nervous taking on these giants here, wouldn't you?
Well, SKT is going ahead and banning 2 supports that go extremely well with the Kog'Maw. So they see and they respect the Kog'Maw pick so much so that they're banning out supports that can either buff him up or can go ahead and get him to safety. So we're going to have to see what WE picks up, but absolutely they're banning the Talia away from Faker, so they don't necessarily think that Faker is going to be picking this Karma and goes ahead and bans one of his mid laners. The Jax.
Yeah.
Wow, the Jax getting picked up. So now they have scaling as well coming from the top lane.
So I think we might see a lane bully coming from WE. I am expecting totally Renekton into this. It was one of the classic matchups regarding how much far ahead can the Gambit of the Croc, how much forward can the Rock get ahead to make the game. But when you have a higher scaling team and a high skilling team, we'll use that word, it can be dangerous because you get behind pretty much the Jax, the game can be over in 15 minutes. And sometimes that's sweet. I actually want to know something more important as picking bans is going on. I always find, in Asian culture, things are very orderly. But Rav, I want you to take a look at the bottom where the bands are. Look at the X's; they're all over the place. It's very, you think they'd be, subsequent lines one after the other, but they're all over the place. They're very erratic. They're showing the intensity, I think. What do you think about that?
I think that's clearly a Riot design, not from the East. Riot based in California, I believe. So absolutely, and once again, the coach's name's not on top of the player's name. So it was just a clear difference between the different leagues, and over in the LPL versus LCK, they do not display the coach names. And so we have a little bit of clarity here. That is Faker getting with the Cassiopeia mid, and that's Wolf with the Karma. And then over on the other side, we have Jarvan going to be taking the top lane with Galio in mid lane. So right off the bat, it looks like that Jarvan is trying to get an advantage over Jax. Is going to try to make a bigger difference in the team fights, whereas Jax is going to try to become that split pushing monster and that scaling machine that when he gets 3 or 4 items is just going to be nearly unstoppable. So very interesting game. This coaches, they don't seem to know what to do. They're like, where the hell are we going in this huge aircraft hangar? Like, we're shaking hands, but where do we walk to? A little bit of confusion there, but no more confusion with the teams. We have some solid teams, both at the scaling very, very well into the late game. And who do you like so far there, Mr. Gold?
Oh, I definitely like the SKT team. If you're going to kill the top laner or the mid laner, any one of those kills is going to snowball to a one lane, and then after that, you're going to exuberate a super amount of map pressure. Like, the solo lanes are pretty much they can win the game just right there. And that's what I'll be looking to do. It's going to be very important for WE to keep their lanes even and ahead slightly, because they're going to want the J4 plus Galileo combo to do something that matters. Because if they get a point where the J4 go in just to die, that's not going to be good. And I just want to comment earlier on the swagger we were talking of the coaches. Yeah, they didn't really have a very strong swagger. Unlike, if you want to look at the meta of the coaches in North America, they have a much stronger swagger. I think it's because they secretly think they're better than the players on the team because they're just meme players.
Well, I mean, not even the players in North America or Europe think they're the best in the world, so why would their coaches believe that either?
Yeah, it totally comes. If you ever looked at the arrogant look of Saint Vicious or Cop or anything, they know they're they could be star layers, but they still want to do it. They want more time to strategical analysis, beers, and fangirls.
All about the fangirls, as we described quite a bit. Now, back to the Jarvan Galio comp. Now, we've seen this picked, this exact combination with the Jarvan top Galio mid, and have seen it fall flat. Just because, like you said, Jarvan dives in, and then what's supposed to happen is the Galio follows in directly after with his ultimate. But what's happening is Jarvan's getting blown up, or people are escaping his Cataclysm. We've seen the timing hasn't been quite on, but here, let's see if the team's going to be able to pull this off. It does require a little bit of coordination and a really well-timed engage by Jarvan, getting 2 or 3 people with this knock-up and/or Cataclysm, and then aptly followed up by Galio. So let's see if they pull this one off.
Oh yeah, I might think it's gonna be that difficult to pull up. They just can't make too many mistakes. If they're running more of a team fight comp than the split pushing comp going from SKT. So if they get behind early at all and they can't team fight they want to or force objectives, they are going to lose immediately. Unfortunately, the Cataclysm can't lock them in at the flashes, but again, Cataclysm is on a lower cooldown than their flash. So you blow flash one play, then you group around an objective. They can take one out. And remember, especially if you can lock 2 targets down with your Golden Aegis to also suck some health back, the idea is going to be just kill one of them, because they probably won't have the DPS to go through 2. But again, if they dive in, their diving is not great. What exposes them to a teleport flanked by the Jax, and that can once you get a Jax on your back line, you're not getting him off, right? You can't call Mako or Geico, whatever insurance provider you want. You are going down.
The general gonna save some time. Call the general to get out of that gank. No, that's just a terrible commercial.
Yeah, but I gotta go take that and put in positive light. We're gonna definitely see some ganking and bank in this game. That's what I want to see. I like the new
yes, Rich Gang.
Gang.
Lest
Yeah.
we forget the Rich Gang crew.
Yes. So Rek'Sai's been coming back into the meta, and which is always nice to see it. Not all of us love seeing the same 4 to 5 junglers. I'm glad we're getting an additional jungler or so. What's made Rek'Sai come back into the meta? They made some big changes to an ultimate. It looks like they're staying put, and they're making him much more of a well-bounded, complete kit.
They increased his damage as well, which helps his early clear times, and it also affects the successfulness of when he ganks because his damage was greatly nerfed, and that's why he was out of competitive play for 8 to 10 patches. But like you said, he's back, and although he's not a top 3 jungler, you'd have to say he's a top probably 6 or 7 jungler. Like he's definitely when you get 2 or 3 junglers banned, and then another one picked against you, he's generally him and one other jungler is going to be in your champ pool. So here we have an SKT being a little bit aggressive. Kog'Maw getting heavily damaged, but
the exhaust is out other Faker. He's got to blow his flash to get out. He follows it back with a flash. Winter's Bite is not going to the first blood going down to the Kog'Maw. Wow, I did not see that play going that way. Did you, Rav?
I didn't. Really, we have not seen the red team here be able to pressure that jungle take yet, or nobody's at least attempted it. So a little bit of adventurous play by SKT, and I think it was just Faker that was just a little bit too far forward positioned. Honestly, I thought it was Kog'Maw that was getting caught out, but no, the WE mid laner and the rest of WE able to come on in, and Kog'Maw able to get that final kill, and so very important to get that first blood on the Kog'Maw.
So let's watch this play. They're going on both sides. Yeah, they got Ashe's damage on both, and they're a bit low. At this point, it should be going down, but again, Karma doesn't have probably her spells on cooldown right now, able to get away. Looks like the Winter's Bright procs there for the able to assist the kill. I couldn't really tell with the new Brahms passive. I thought maybe there's an additional stack. Looks like they got the stack on again. Look at the punishment going on in Huni. 957 is doing quite the beast. And hold on, what's that? We're actually getting a correction call from the Rito skins department. In fact, Kog'Maw is not going to be getting credit for first blood. It's going to be Pugma, one of the. And look at that, already forcing the teleport out of the Jax. They can get some pressure up there. That's going to be quite a lane. This is the lane that they want to get ahead. But oh look, Flash is already down, so damage can be the mid lane. And look at the Rek'Sai.
But going ahead and picking up that scuttle appears right now. He's not going to be going for Fire Dragon just yet. A little bit too early. He's going to go ahead and pick up the blue buff, secure that, and then see about ganking mid or bot lane. Let's see what he decides afterwards. But bot lane, we have Ashe a little bit up in the farm, but Kog'Maw does have that ever important first kill, so was able to go ahead and get some additional attack speed and a pot.
Yeah, but just attack speed though, it's not really the best advantage you want in lane. Like you couldn't get an extra long sword. Hello, are we having signal problems out in the UK?
No, just a little bit towards the end of the speech. But everything's all right.
Oh,
and yeah, and well,
Rek'Sai has the flash. Faker is flashless right now. Oh,
a little bit dangerous diving the turrets at this early level.
It shows exuberant a lot of confidence though to dive the tower and get away with 2 bars of health. Nothing tilts a mid laner like that. Hashtag plan dive.
Okay, so Peanut's coming up. He's gonna see that his chickens were taken. So quite a big camp going over to Rek'Sai. Faker wanted to back, but was stopped, and is just going to go ahead and try to pick up as much of this farm as he can.
Yeah, soon-to-be world champion junglers hate when their chickens are gone, but don't count your chickens before they're stolen by the Rek'Sai. Or I'm not sure what the proper analogy would be in that situation. I think we need Freak the Pun King to be here.
All
not
right,
really a lot of.
Yeah.
Not really a lot of movement by Peanut there. I think it's more just like a reflex to warm up to show that he's there. I know you don't have your flash and watch out or I'll kill you. Stay away from my world champion mid laner. Very much an authority move there. And back to top lane. Jack's probably going to go for some vision. No, it looks like he's going to be going back to lane. He didn't die yet. He's pretty happy. The CS is even, and pretty much the teleport, Jax is going to be up first. So this is pretty much looking great for the Jax. That's why it's so hard, the teleport meta, to kill your laners. Like, I kind of wish we could go back to the meta where the top laners had to run Ignite or something, so that way they could actually die, especially in a very long lane.
Well, as you're saying, Huni and Jax is going to have about a 1 minute and a half advantage over 957 in the teleports. That could be a great time to go pick up this Infernal Dragon as the first dragon, and that's going to be right up around the 7.5 minute mark, exactly when you want to be taking this high priority dragon.
Oh yeah, they do not want to give away Infernal Dragons when there's Ashes and Cassiopeias around, and there's no one you really want to give this dragon to away, to be honest.
Yeah,
I think Brom's the only.
Jeez.
Yeah, maybe Brom or Rek'Sai is the only person we don't care that much. But nice little blast cone there, sneaky.
He might be starting it.
Nice.
Nope.
They're putting some damage out. It looks like they're showing. Curious because they saw the Lee Sin, so I'm not sure what they're thinking. Looks like the Rek'Sai's gonna have to get there, but
Jax going back to base, but he does have teleport.
Yeah, that was a curious play. I'm not sure exactly what they were trying to do. Maybe they're trying to show aggression, but they were able to get a nice engage on there. The trade was close, especially for a planned engage.
Engage
nice.
Coming in, Galio. Ult challenged back by Faker. Faker's just looking to try to get out of this. He went ahead, dodged the skill shot, but has to flash out, and that's a flash that's going to be just past 12 minutes. And not
He's going down. He goes down. Nice play. The flash from earlier just comes up to blow it. That's the play you want to have. And Galileo's going to have the flash too. And then he's going to take his red buff. Wow, that's insulting. You kill the world champion mid laner, then you take his mid laner's blue buff. And then if you want to be really snarky, you take his blue buff afterwards. But let's see what happens with the smite battle.
Yep.
Nice, and Rek'Sai takes it.
Rek'Sai. And that's 2 deaths for Faker right now. So 2 deaths on the Cassiopeia. He's going to be a little bit longer powering up than he otherwise would normally be. Jack's just loving this lane right now, pushing directly towards him, just be able to get the damage advantage on that trade against Jarvan. And no, he's not happy freezing it. He wants to push it. He's thinking that that Jarvan, he thinks he's either in a bush right now or went ahead and went back.
Well, J4 can't push him out of lane. That's always the hard part. If you push him out 80% of the lane without jungler help to kill, it's the same thing as pushing him 0 out of the lane, right? The Jack's don't know where he's staying. He's going to be stacking armor. He's going to be difficult to deal with as he probably goes towards his... I don't know what the meta right now is. Probably a Trinity Force, but I've seen Ray Blages or 8 big things. I really don't want to see them give away this Infernal Drake. They've got an advantage. They should really be using it. Especially with J4 not having his teleport up.
WE pretty much have to give it up because of that. And there they are. They're not able to be in the right place. And SKT goes ahead and takes it out before WE can do anything to respond. And just that quick and easy, even though they're down 1,500 gold and the first 2 kills. But they do have this ever-important dragon. And at a pretty decent time, too. So should be able to continue putting pressure on the dragons, and let's see if they can get an advantage that way.
Yeah, what is the point of getting kills on the mid laner if you can't transition that? And you stole the red buff. If you're just going to afterwards give up one of the more important dragons in the game, even if you can't get that dragon, you want to deny it, right? If you can just give them another dragon, not a big deal. But those are the kind of dragons you don't want to give for, because SKT is notoriously able to fight at low gold differentials, and it's pretty amazing. It looks like they have a dive up here. Cataclysm goes in. Here comes the hero's entrance, and no, they can't get out of it. Oh, they get stunned under a tower, but he didn't have it.
Just going to get 1 or 2 turret shots. That's it. Jack's still in danger here in the top lane, but there we saw that Cataclysm Galio ultimate, and Jax was just able to jump out. So there we see that first combination ultimate, and not successful for WE.
Yeah, that play they just wanted to blow the flash. I think they knew he was going to flash out. Like, you can't just think who's going to stay there and get smashed, especially as a Jax. But I want to see what they're going to do afterwards. Like, you make one good play and that's great, but where's the next play? And that's what SKT does. You don't. Sorry, forgive me. I had fail stuck in my throat. But yeah, you make one good play. Well, here comes the repeat play. Jack hops away. The flash is not. Burrow's not available for Kondi. Kondi. I love that name.
Yeah,
So
Jax almost expected that top lane gank and was able to easily just jump away and just wasting more jungler time. Now that's 2 times that he was ganked in the top lane and it's just been pushed off a little bit of farm. Really, he's just fine right now. He's looking to go back and finish the other part of his item. Probably going to be going for Blade of the Ruin King first, and yeah, he's just going to get back to lane and continue getting experience, and we'll look to try to get an advantage around the level 12 to 13 mark against J4.
yeah, J4 doesn't have any armor. He's not going to do very well in a matchup. Here comes the Winter's Bite procking down on the Wolf. Wolf gets hit up. Here comes the double TPs. Here's the play. The Jax look for the flank on the Kog'Maw. Yeah, the Kog'Maw's going down. Yeah, he wipes him up. Zero's got nowhere to run. Here comes the cleanup crew. Can be stay alive, but Rebuttal Kills goes to there. The taunt hits no one. Nice play. Nice. Oh, the Cataclysm comes back. It's a kill back on the Jax. Nice fight. 2-2. But I think SKT is going to be ahead because they have the scaling comp. They're going to have to put first turret pressure on this. And I don't know if they can take it right now with the Karma Q ultimate coming up in a little bit.
They most definitely can't take it, but it looks like they're going to pressure. So we're going to have to see how this turns out. Wolf getting targeted. Kog'Maw doing what he can to get him down as quickly as possible. Meanwhile,
everything was.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
No, great TP. Jack's able to get into the fight a full 5 seconds before J4 can, and just able to put that much more additional pressure. So I was initially thinking with the counter strike here, if it was going to come up, he'd be able to survive, but it didn't come up because he would have used it.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
How the kills went out, so with Jackson, Lee Sin getting a kill for SKT, and then Kog'Maw and Galio picking up a kill for kills for WE. So nice dispersion. And here Jax pressured once again. He does not have his flash up, and Braum picking that up. And,
the kill goes to the wrong target. That's not what you want. It's not disasters, but you want that Kog'Maw to get those kills. But nice chance grabbing it. Now they can put some first turret pressure on the game. It looks like the Karma might be getting in trouble, but oh no, other way around. The Hunter has been found by the Huntress.
Yeah, and Galio coming in for defensive teleport. And that's going to be on cooldown once more. So not been able to be too effective on that ultimate. And meanwhile, Kog'Maw for WE is pushing top lane, getting that solo experience, that solo farm, and with 2 kills and 2 assists, he's primed for carry position.
Here comes an arrow. Oh, that arrow was a kill arrow, whoever it hit.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And during this time, J4 is taking the bot lane, which is nice. He's able to put in a tower. He's probably going to get some damage on this tower. I don't recall the health of that sucker now, but they could definitely... I think to win this game, they're going to have to get the first turret. I don't think they can afford to get the first turret. Look at Jackson saying, I'm going to come for you, J4. And he's coming from heart.
No more free farm for him. But at 40 up, J4 has gotten a significant advantage in the farm department. It also shows in the levels. Him at level 10 and Jax at level 9. So that's just what you're looking for. And around the next objective, which is going to be a second Infernal Dragon in 45 seconds, you got to give J4 a little bit more of an advantage over the Jax.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's probably maybe why he didn't want it back. He wanted to keep the pressure. But they can get a kill on the Jax now, which is probably their intention of that roam right there. They definitely have access to an Infernal. If they cannot give a second Infernal Drake over to SKT, it's really unfortunate. Like, I don't really like the RNG mechanics so much. Of here comes the engage. Not even with the Cataclysm, he's going to go. He's got nowhere to run. Braum's ultimate ups. Winter's Bright. Good night. And it looks like SKT is going to be roaming down, and it looks like they're going to grab first tower and some pushes, and let's see if they get any more conciliatory prizes. Nope, no blue buff.
WE having some great map rotations here, and even though they were going even on some of these team fights, they were constantly having a split pusher, whether that be the Kog'Maw or the Jarvan, and that's gone ahead and led to the bottom turret, a few kills advantage, and inside position on this Infernal Dragon, and it looks like at least a couple of them are coming to engage here from SKT, but I don't think they want to. No, they're pulling back. They're going to give this over, and now we're going to have the Dragons even at 1-1 with a solid goal advantage for WE. How many times have we seen this, though, throughout this season? Gold advantages against SKT, and then having SKT come back when you start to think the other team's got a chance. Like, it's too many times for me to count. And really, WE needs to do more. They're doing the right things right now, but they have to keep the pedal to the metal, because this is exactly when SKT comes back and evens the gap to eventually take the lead and win the game.
Oh, definitely, yeah. They can't be sitting back on the laurels of the earlier efforts. They can't just rely on the Kog'Maw, right? They're gonna have to make strong pressure. J4's now got the Black Cleaver. He's probably gonna destroy the Jax for the next little bit. So I want to see more of that matchup, because this is where you have to hammer this down. You have your teleport up from J4, so you can grab some turrets. What's probably going to happen is the mid lane's going to get pushed, or the top lane's going to push. That's some easy gold standing. It looks like SKT is going to respond with a bot turret. Nothing they're going to be able to do. And look at that, a Rift Herald. Excellent macro movement. Kog'Maw takes the top lane, and this is some exciting action as we wait for the next round of bouts. Pretty much the farming, Rift Herald pushing game, and we'll see if anyone gets caught out with their pants down.
It's a great point about the Jarvan versus Jax right now, because right now Jarvan has an enormous advantage over the Jax. He's probably as far ahead right now as he's ever going to be in this game, with the level advantage, the item advantage. And with Jarvan being a strong mid-game champion, this is exactly when you want to be fighting Jax. So we're going to see if they get matched up in a side lane. But right now, we have SKT gaining up on Galio. But just look at the tank of this Galio. All three members hitting him, and he's only down to half health. Whoa, just missed with the arrow. Bang, so close.
Keanu Brom Reeves.
Whoa, he totally matrixed it, man.
I was actually telling my trainee at work how to Keanu Reeves work orders and other things are going to blame you. So you have to basically just dodge back and avoid all the problems to hit some other sucker.
Workplace politics. We all have them.
Oh, yeah. That was the power also of the Galileo that we just saw right there. So you can basically actually hold on that thought. So I've been noticing something. You keep saying really good point to me a quarter of the time. Is that? But you say it so much. You're basically saying my other points aren't so good, and that you're rewarding me for having a good point finally. Like, what's the intention there?
The intention is I have something to add to that point, so I like to bring it up. I agree with it, and then I add something to it.
So very much like
it's
a
just
co-branding.
a sequitur for language, basically.
Oh, okay, yeah, because using me as a vehicle to move her own in-game agenda.
Correct.
That's
purely
cool.
selfish.
Oh, that's cool. I respect that, right? We have. Oh, here comes a knock up on the P. Taking a lot of damage. Yeah, look at those buffs to RavExel really coming in, and he's gonna afterwards. There's no way he's gonna let him steal that red buff, especially with the stun from.
We're having a collapse. TP coming in. Jarvan feeling that this is a fight that they want. The buff was taken, and Jarvan coming in to make sure to secure the advantage here on the red side of SKT. But meanwhile, we have Faker split pushing in the bottom lane. This might be a fight that WE wants.
Yeah, they want to push, but I don't think they realize how to. Yeah, they don't get anyone. They have to at least get the tower. The arrow is up, so this could be disastrous. They cannot afford a mistake here, especially with Quebec.
A cataclysm. Galio missing the ult completely. Ult's not going WE's way, but everything else is. They got the 2 kills. They're closing in.
Enchanted arrow miss. Here comes the Faker. He's probably gonna drop his ult. He goes in. Who's stopping him? They need to focus the Faker. Faker's going. Oh, now he's getting touched. He's getting blown up. Look at the top line. This melting. Everyone's been destroyed.
That's a 4-for-1. And here they're pushing mid.
That could be a tower. This is the kind of damage they need. Good play by the WE. I wasn't thinking this game was going to be that close, but wow. This is the kind of pressure they have to put with their 5k goalie. If they keep playing this press up, they get some vision for the Baron. This could be lights out for SKT. Wow, I would not want to be in their home countries during this time. No one will visit them at the airport when they come back.
They are very serious about winning. But here we have a WE engaging, missing a couple ults, but getting those crucial first 2 kills. So right away, it's a 5-on-3. Here, Faker's coming into the fight late, flashes in with the ultimate. They're trying to trade back in damage, but it's just too many members of WE and too many items in their advantage. They do have a gold lead, they do have a level lead, and when we have the player lead as well, they're just never going to lose that fight. We see the difference. We have WE up a massive 6,000 gold lead here at the 20-minute mark, and we have third Infernal Dragon. Wow, it's such exciting dragons. That's probably why we're having so many team fights here. Just these objectives that they constantly fight over. This could be a major, major turn. If they could go ahead and secure this next objective or this next team fight, we very well may be saying WE over SKT.
Well, let's not get too close there, but that was the kind of pressure that they're going to have. As we talked about earlier, I thought Jax would be pushing personally, but whatever, I'm not Korean, so what do I know, right? But Cassiopeia is good. Oh, they land the Cataclysm on her. She's got nowhere to go. She's never flashed. They have to dump the damage on her. Where's the damage? The lifesteal comes in, and they're able to take her out. They have to bring this down. This is not good. And there goes the Winter's Bite. Winds of Winter takes him down. Nice play, but Ash is coming back on the backside. 9% taking too much damage. They're going to have to retreat. Beautiful play there, bringing down Faker. There.
Well, the Rift Herald, as we saw, was used. That was to get pressure on bottom to make a play for this Infernal Dragon. And here they go ahead. Lee Sin not in a position to steal it at this moment. I do think that they're going to try to burst it out. Possibly not. They're thinking about it.
Dragon, here comes the Jack teleport in.
Here they come. Steal going out. Steal successful by Peanut. And the team fight coming in. We have Jarvan picking up the kill on Wolf. Team fight going in. This is an advantage here. It looks like SKT is going to try to finish it off. It's a 2-on-2 right now. Going back in, the Galio able to get just enough damage. Bang is going to be able to pick this kill up. And we have a 3-for-3 with, you have to give the advantage to SKT picking up that Infernal Dragon, and a little bit of a misplay from WE because you don't want to be engaging in this dragon in that team fight if you think it's going to be an even trade or if SKT has any way of stealing it from you.
Yeah, this is how you typically see all the time how the teams actually lose to SKT. The play starts off great by all this engagement. Faker's able to get away. They can't do the damage necessary to bring him down. Especially when Pugma gets blown up early. That's when the fight started to go awry. Afterwards, they're able to get their 1-for-1 trade. They weren't able to do much more. And then they tried challenging for the dragon and ended up giving it away. Positional mistakes, as I mentioned in the pregame, are going to be punished exceptionally. And then you have these two Infernals, which is already dangerous on the scaling potential of the Cassiopeia. She's already doing a ludicrous amount of damage. This could be very much disastrous as we see things going as we get to the late game. They're going to have to watch the engages, and someone has to protect Pugma. You got to keep that Jax off him.
Well, Kog'Maw is at that ever-crucial 2-item point, so he is bursting out damage, and he is going to be getting more and more damage as this game goes on. And with SKT taking that dragon, that was what they were successful at. And with these trades of kills, they basically go even for an even 3-for-3. But it was the dragon steal, and good on Peanut winning on the 50-50.
Well, yeah, it's probably a bit more than 50-50 because I think Lee Sin has like the execute, but yeah, good play there, overall play.
Nice block by Braum. So far, Bang has not been overly successful with his arrows. He has been historically known for great arrows, and here the flash knock up, and it's just going to be a waste. So flash down for Condi, and we have Faker getting engaged on by Galio. Galio looking to stop his back and get some damage, but just look how tanky Galio is. He just does not take damage from one player. He needs to be bursted, and right now SKT is struggling to get that much damage on him.
Well, they know they have to make these kills count, right? Because their damage is good not be as low, sorry, as high as SKT's. Looks like they're doing a Baron call. They cannot take damage here too much. And it looks at the engage. They're on Bang. They got the Cataclysm on the Bang. Bang flashes out. SKT's putting the pressure on. Where's the engage? Looks like they're retreating and they're going back. Nice play back there.
Flash missed. We have still a 5-on-5. A Bang getting caught in the back line. Oh, beautiful 4-man stun. And now SKT looks like they're a little bit down on this one. They lost out on this team fight. They have flashing red bars. I think WE is going to try to burst out this Baron, and I'm not sure if SKT is going to be able to try and steal it. They're not doing it. They're going to go mid lane. So here we have a trade. SKT pushed in mid lane, now looking to come and engage on for this Baron. They
can't take that. They can't take this. They're too low right now. We're taking Baron damage in this as well. Like, this could be dangerous. But the jungler is down. Look, they're just going to throw damage on there.
Yep, that's all they're doing. Ash able to pick it up, pick up the Braum. Rek'Sai getting the, well, look at that execute on the Kog'Maw. WE picking up not only the Baron, but that fadeaway kill on Bang, and just huge advantage. Great job by Karma to pick up that stop on that back. And wow, WE just might have the tools in the shed to be able to take out this legendary SKT team. 6K gold up, and the Baron on their side. So they very well could be pressuring an inhibitor turret here against the defending world champions.
Oh, beautiful play there. Very ballsy play. That play could have gone on a nice edge right there. That play also being a lot more closer if they were secured, maybe one more of those Infernal Dranks earlier. These are the kind of plays so they're going to have to use this Baron. I think the way that things are going, they're going to have to use this to get at least the mid lane or the bottom lane inhibitor to get some real pressure going, because let's not forget, because we haven't seen the split push party hasn't started yet, and that's going to be an option. So if you don't get an objective, hold on, Galileo going fine, and the Karma's got his W on him, the stun, but he's just too tanky. They're going in. The Karma's getting blown up.
Look how little damage he just took. Look how strong Galileo is when he gets a lead. Like,
Jax is top lane with the teleport up.
Yeah, but WE's going to take this trade every time. They have Baron minions. They're going to go ahead and get this inhibitor. There's nothing SKT can do. I think they're going to go ahead and possibly try to go for the middle. Jax just cannot push as hard as they can.
It looks like they're retreating right now. I don't know if I agree with this. I would have kept pushing for the next tower, but it looks like they don't want to surrender at inhibitor turret. But interesting play by SKT, giving up solo lane experience, the start of the split push, just for that. But minimal, I think win goes to WE. Look at this player that he goes in. I think they were trying to do a stun on the jungler, but just weren't able to get it off. But nice play overall. And I think WE is in the driver's seat. They had the first inhibitor down. All they have to do is push the next team fight on another lane. If they get one more team fight win, take an objective, it could be the game over.
But you remember my earlier call? I thought SKT was initially going to push 3 mid lane to possibly trade 2 mid turrets for the Baron, and I thought they were going to be happy with that. But instead, they pressure Baron and they attempt a Baron steal without their jungler. So a little bit of an aggressive move there, where the safe move was to get the guaranteed 1 mid turret and the possible 2nd mid turret. So a little curious on that, but it was a call that was made. They all listened to it, and it was just a good engage from WE and Condi with the solid smite. It was a high pressure smite, and gives them a continued chance to win this game. And he goes, and he gets the Cassiopeia Cataclysm into the Galio knockup.
3 knockups.
There we go. He hits it.
I think I counted at least 3 going up on Cassiopeia there.
Faker's
it's like watching
worth at
Sesame
least 3
Street.
Ults. That's how baller he is. That's how many ults you expend.
And the Jax is pushing in the other lane. What is Hootie doing? You can see one of your Immortals coaches smiling right now, going, "Ha ha ha ha! He's your problem now." But let's go back to
salt. Beautiful.
So let's go.
We were talking about WE being effective with this Baron, and oh boy, they were effective. They took 2 inhibitors as well as the turrets. How much more could you possibly ask for?
A dragon.
Well, they're not going to get that one, but 2 inhibitors. They win one more team fight, they win the game.
Yeah, I thought they would have won that one as well, but where's it? Look at that! And a dragon! Cuckoo, fucking shoo! But yeah, I was going to go back to that Cassio thing. I totally brought me back to my childhood where I'm watching Sesame Street and the count's going, how many ults on Faker? 1, ha ha ha! 2, ha ha ha! 3, ha ha ha! That's straight up
very apt as someone who's similar age as yourself. I have very distinct memories of that. So very, very true. And look at the situation we've got. We've got WE, who I don't think too many people were expecting any great things out of, and they have an 8,000 gold lead and double inhibitors up on SKT. This is super interesting, and I've just loved calling this game. We've just had constant fights over and over again, and it has to be because of those Infernal and Mountain Dragon, and then the bot tower being traded in for that Rift Herald. It's just constant pressure over objectives, and just been a super entertaining game. And wow, what an upset!
So just why some of you are wondering why isn't Jax in this position, and that's because he can't really do a lot unless he's that tanky. He's going to get blown up. He's going to walk up, literally get dumpstered, and then he's going to die, and then the game's going to be over. A lot of the Jax threat is basically him off camera threat, right? But that's why the team has to be in a good position. They don't really have the wave clear.
Flashing game going in from Galio.
The Tonka to land. There's Huni looking for a flank. He's looking for the Pugma. The arrow comes in, but it's all on the Galio. They need to get the priority targets. Cataclysm, it will go on to the Faker. Nice, Faker goes on there. Passive's going. Where's the damage? I don't think they have the damage to stop this right now. The WE's continue to assault. Rek'Sai coming back in, and Galio goes in, but doesn't hit anyone. But they're going to be able to push this turret down minimal, I think. Oh, maybe not. The minions are going out. Nice engage there. Oh, look at that. The stun goes
no
right on the
minions
Ashes
under here, and look at the pressure that they're putting. Winter's Bite goes for the kill. Loving it.
This could be the game. This could be. I believe right now that China LPL gets 2. I think it's only a best of 3, right? This could be the whole series victory off the bat.
Oh, that's just what
someone
an
check
upset.
my math.
And Reddit is going to be exploded if this is going to happen. And there's nothing that can happen. Here we are. You got to be wondering about the Jax top pick. Like what was going on? What was going on with that? Like really, there's nothing else that was unusual for SKT.
Wow, and Hui looks really happy. Oh, it's not him. I totally thought that was Huni.
Well, still, it's genuine smiles, and I think the crowd knows what they just saw. I think they're stunned at this moment. They're look at everyone running up. They want to shake these guys' hands. They want to see the SKT killers heads up, and wow, like you have to the Jarvan was able to do quite a bit in this game. He was I say he was the catalyst of everything. That with the Kog'Maw not being able to be targeted effectively, and just Jarvan being able to do so much more. He had a 75% kill participation most of the way through that game. And anytime you're a top laner with a high level kill participation, you're doing your job and then some.
Oh, completely. That was just an amazing game. Great rotations. A couple of points it was close, but then solid play and the drafting just worked out. Like things were getting a bit close there. Pugma got killed a couple times, but other than that, it went pretty smooth. Excellent game. This is going to give WE the confidence they need to go in. In fact, I don't think I've been this surprised of anything until 2 days ago when I'm sitting home watching Netflix. And I see something called Howard the Duck. And I click it on. I'm expecting some cartoon duck, but it's straight up live action duck. It's a whole world based around this duck. And it's not even just a duck, Howard. The whole world. There's a calendar where instead of saying May West, it says May Nest. I was like, whoa, what is this?
It's just, it's like a parallel universe. But who would you say would be your champion of the game here? You got so many to choose from. You could be Jarvan, it could be Galio, it could be Kog'Maw. Who are you liking for your player of the game here, Mr. Gold?
Well, it's got to be Conde. Just because you can go, Conde! He flashed engaged every time it was up, trying to make an impact. And every time he made a couple of mistakes with Karma, but that's not the point. You make the correct play, you try and get picks, and things will happen to you. You can't just sit back and beat the world champions by out-drafting them. You actually have to beat them in the game, too, by making aggressive, powered plays. Well, so Conde's my player of the game. Yep. On SKT side, it's probably Faker, just because he was down 0-2 and still putting out pressure. But then he kind of messed it up by flashing in for that team fight and didn't do much after that. What about you, RavExel? Who's your player of the game?
Well, I'd have to probably say the Galio. You're up against Faker. Even though you had some early pressure from your jungler to help you out. He just got so tanky towards the late game that he was being targeted by 3, 4, sometimes 5 people, and they just weren't able to burst him down with the amount of tank items that he built. And it's the new tank items like the Gargoyle's Plate and the other tank item. When you have multiple players around you, you're able to get increased damage reduction from that, and just being able to put pressure towards the mid lane, let them contest for objectives, and let them knock down inhibitors. So I have to give it for a good old Galio. So even look at this, 14,800 damage, but I bet he tanked so much more than the Jarvan. This is just total damage to champions. My bet is he doubled Jarvan's total in tankage.
I'm not going to disagree. So, everyone, I hope you enjoyed our cast today. RavExel, Mr.Gold. Looking forward to seeing you later this week. We're going to host a much more competitive local tournament, and we're going to hopefully share to these League of Legenders the boon of some of our caster chi.
Let me get a shout out to that Ontario Esports League. We're going to go ahead and host their tournament here coming up. It's July 22nd here in the Greater Toronto area, and looking forward for that. And we're gonna cast some other great League of Legends actions live at the Raiders Esports Center. So looking forward to that. And
Yeah.
Mr. Gold, I'll give you the final word.
Yeah, and once again, just thank you again for listening to our cast. We have a lot of things that are really exciting that are going on in the league right now. Next year, we're going to have the new league where minimum salary is $75,000, and also next year we're going to have Ontario minimum wage going up to $15. So the average League of Legends player up here, salary is going to go up 75%.
Well, that's absolutely true. It's staggering from $14 for 1 year and then $15 to the next. But I'm going to just say one last thing. Like, subscribe to the channel. We do this because we love doing this. And if you like, subscribe, that just validates that we're doing something that you like and that you'd like us to do more in the future. So there's been videos going long enough. So everyone have a good one. And more League of Legends actions all set to come with my man, RavExel, and my good friend, Mr. Gold.